enough sky. What am I the thorn in your eye? Too much sun and not enough sky. What am I the thorn in your eye? Too much sun and not enough sky. I'm lost again, but I gotta maintain. Too much sun and not enough sky. What am I the thorn in your eye?
Hello everybody and welcome to the final race of the regular season of Season 3 NASCAR Walmart Cup Series, race number 26. So after this race, the top 12 drivers in the chase, the top 10 in points, and the 2 wildcard drivers will be decided for the chase. But after this, we still have the Chase LCQ race at Talladega coming up. But anyways, hi, I'm Levi McIntyre, aka Thrash Maniac 99, the voice of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Pep Boy Auto Parts 500 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is going to be an important race for a lot of these drivers who are hoping to get into the top 10 or get a win. At least drivers who have one win but are within the top 20 points range are hoping to pick up a win or to get a potential wild card spot. Now, the top 10 in points coming into this race are Cassandra Renzi, Jessica Shelton, Cody Lamas, Michael Norman, Chris Washer, Austin Weiner, Ryan Anderson Jr., PJ Williams, David Rivera, and Dylan Thoreau. With Jesse Setti only 1 point behind 10th, Ian Dutta 2 points behind 10th, Jesse King 3 points behind 10th, Brandon Nichols 6 points out of 10th, and Eric Burden 13 points behind 10th. Now for the drivers in the top 10 who are just barely ahead of the 10th position, you have Chris Washer and Austin Weiner, who are both 29 points behind, or actually 19 points ahead of 10th. Ryan Anderson Jr. only 16 ahead of 10th. PJ Williams only 4, and David Rivera only 2. So it's very, very close between 5th through 15th. And that separates the drivers by only 32 points. So the top 10 can easily be shaken up after this race. Now, the current wildcard drivers are Brandon Nichols for his 4 wins. He's pretty much locked in the chase no matter what happens. Either stays outside the top 10, makes it in a wild card spot, or gets into the top 10 and make it either way. So Brandon Nichols, he's pretty much locked in, but he would love to get in the top 10 in order to carry over those bonus points from those 4 wins. And the second driver who's a wild card spot is Justin Talampas, who is 23rd in points and has 2 wins. So a lot of drivers are hoping to get a second win or get in the top 10 in order to make the chase. But enough of me talking. Here's a look at your starting lineup for the Pep Boy Auto Parts 500 at Atlanta.
Imagine the dreams of a 13-year-old looking up at the sky, wondering how the world can be so cold. This kid wasn't sold it would be like this. At nighttime, wishes to be safe from this abyss. Cause this shit is something that can be dismissed. A boy born as a girl who is going through the stress. He's got a shotgun up, but can't play for the team. His school won't let him even though it's his dream. Now he's sitting in bed with a loaded gun, thinking about blowing his brains out to kingdom come. Cause he's been bullied and teased all his life. Almost killed himself 2 years ago by slitting his wrist with a knife. I wonder if he sees the things I see for him. 10 years down the line, speaking at the forum. A college graduate up at the top of his class. The first trans NFL player up in the draft.
Well, there's a look at your starting lineup. Dylan Young on the pole with Michael Norman in second. And here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys and girls. Now, Michael Norman, I believe he is going to be locked into the chase due to 3 wins and being high enough up in the points. If I can say who is all officially locked into the chase based on points, it would be would be Cassandra Renzi, Jessica Sheldon, and Cody Lamas. Michael Norman, he's locked in, but not as far as points. So those are the top 4 locked into the chase, and the leader is now going to be Biggie Spencer in the 36. And Brandon Nichols, like I said, he's locked in either way of either wild card or top 10, depending on how the results will turn out after this race. Right now, Biggie Spencer, who is not going to be able to make the chase, at least right now, unless he wins the LCQ at Talladega, he's up at the front. He's had a struggling season. He comes into this race in 40th in points. Started off the season really good, and then he free fell a lot in the points. But right now he's up here at the front, and look who's coming in behind for the lead right now, and that is Trent Dunham. Trent Dunham's coming into the fray. And look who else is battling up here. You got Jessica Sheldon with Jordan Kolb, Seth Cole, and Austin Weiner. Austin Weiner wants to be sure to stay up into the top 10 so he can keep his bonus points heading into the chase. Seth Cole, who comes into this race 20th in points. I don't think, even if he wins, I don't think it's going to be enough to put him into the top 10. But it will give him some momentum heading into the Chase LCQ at Talladega coming up. But meanwhile, it is Biggie Spencer up at the front of the field with Trent Dunham running right behind him. After this lap, we're going to take a look at a run-through of the field to see how everything is shaping up. Biggie Spencer is the leader. Second is Trent Dunham. Third is Jordan Kolb. Fourth is Seth Cole. Fifth is Austin Weiner. Sixth is Ken Thoreau. Seventh is Jecko Knight. Eighth is Larry Hagan. Ninth, Jessica Sheldon. 10th is Ian Dutta. 11th is Alex Pedro. 12th, Michael Walton. 13th, Chase Oliver. 14th, Cassandra Renzi. 15th, David Rivera. 16th, Cody Lamas. 17th, Eric Burton. 18th, as we wait for the scoring to update itself, 18th is Dylan Thoreau, or actually no, make that Eric Burton. 19th is Charles Sanford. 20th, Jesse Setti. 21st is Anthony McCrory. 22nd, Eric Enrage. 23rd, Nick Pericles. 24th, Sonny Hammond. 25th, Charles Jackson. 26th, Michael Norman. 27th, Gabe Williams. 28th, Zachary Fitzwater. 29th, Kyle Matthews. 30th is now Matt McIntyre, as P.J. Williams has moved himself up a little higher. 31st is Henrietta Fitzwater. 32nd, Michael Norman, who started all the way in the second spot. He's now back to 32nd. Rue McIntyre, 33rd. Dylan Young, the pole setter's back in 34th. 35th, Ryan Anderson Jr. 36th, Jesse King. 37th, Brandon Nichols. 38th is Justin Talampas. Well, now he's up to 33rd. So 39th is Chris Washer. 40th is Cody Hagan. 41st, Kendall Maynor. And running dead last and 42nd is Alex Hawkins. But right now, Biggie Spencer continues to lead the way, and we are still clean and green here at Atlanta. Right now, it is Austin Weiner up into the third spot. This is good for him to stay into the top 10 in the point standings, and now he's under attack from a two-time winner this season in Alex Pedro. I think if Brandon Nichols somehow would come back and finish up in the top 10 and get into the top 10 in points, and how it depends on who wins, say if Biggie Spencer wins and Brandon Nichols gets into the top 10, that will leave room open for Alex Pedro to potentially get a wild card spot, because he has 2 wins, but he comes into the race around the 30s in the points, but he's got 2 wins. So if Brandon Nichols can get in the top 10 and Biggie Spencer, somebody who hasn't won a race this year, wins, then Alex Pedro could go into the second wild card spot along with Justin Talampas. Meanwhile, it is Biggie Spencer still up at the front as we go around the back. And I see Michael Norman, who's running in the back right here, along with Chris Washer. This is not good for the 24, at least at the current moment, but I think he and Austin Weiner may still be locks in the chase due to having 2 wins, but you never know. There could be some strange happenings here at Atlanta to where one of the 2 could miss out on wild card spot depending on what happens. Meanwhile, Jessie Setti, she was hoping to try to get ahead of Dylan Thoreau and a few other drivers to get in the top 10. Right now, she's in the back of the pack around, I would guess and say, around the 40th spot at the current moment. So not that great of a run for Jessie Setti at the moment. Unless she can make a comeback, the only way I can see her trying to get into the chase is to make a comeback and get into the top 10 and finish there. Because right now, Dylan Thoreau is in the top 10, at least last scored in the top 10. And he is in the top 10. Right now, Biggie Spencer, he's just been holding on to the lead for quite a while now. Though we have seen some shuffles in the top 10, because look who's coming into the picture right now, Jekko Knight. Depending on where some drivers ahead of him in points do finish, say if we had a few of them finish in the back and Jekko Knight won, he could potentially get into the top 10, though that may not be likely because he comes into the race about 35 points behind the 10th spot. So he would have to hope for drivers such as Dylan Thoreau, Jessie Setti, Ian Dutta, Jesse King, Brandon Nichols, and Eric Burton to finish round dead last, and he'd have to maybe finish in the top 3 in order to make it into the top 10 in points. But right now, he's having a great run, a 3rd. And Jekko Knight is not a back-of-the-pack racer. He is a winner. He won, I believe, either once or twice back in Season 1 when he drove the 31 car for Richard Childress Racing. Last season, he had a struggling of the season in the 38 car for Front Row Motorsports. This season, he's had a good, decent season in the 42 car. He's been top 20 in points pretty much all season. He's been trying to show some promises to win a race. It just hasn't paid off just yet. And he just got bypassed by the points leader in both regular and rookie points, Cassandra Renzi. And she wants to try to get a win in the points racing game because she won the All-Star Open earlier this season back at the Derek Motodome, but that didn't count as an official win since it was a non-points event. Right now it's 2nd and 3rd Stewart-Haas racing cars with Alex Pedro and Cassandra Renzi running 2nd and 3rd, with a somewhat associated team for Stewart-Haas, with Tommy Baldwin Racing's Biggie Spencer in the lead. So that team is a technical association with Stewart-Haas. So technically, you may say it's Stewart-Haas 1, 2, and 3 right now. But Alex Pedro is just still running right on the back bumper of the 36. They're all very close together. They have the capabilities to make a move. It's just they're trying to time it. Right now, Cassandra Renzi, she's going to attempt, or at least she tried to attempt to run the low line to get around Alex Pedro for the 2nd spot, but that has not panned out just yet. But now here comes Alex Pedro and Renzi underneath a Biggie Spencer, so this is the first time in a while a new leader is going to emerge, and that's going to be Alex Pedro. If he can win this race, he will get a wild card spot officially for having 3 wins. That is if he does stay up there. Meanwhile, back here, it was 3 wide between Trent Dunham, Chase Oliver, and Jekko Knight. So 2 of those cars were teammates, Dunham and Knight. Meanwhile, look who's coming into 5th now. That's Michael Walton, a rookie, in that 99 car. And Walton comes into the race 26 in points. So even if he wins, he won't get into the chase unless he would somehow win the LCQ at Talladega coming up. Right now it is Pedro up in the lead, but Cassandra Renzi is just right behind him, and now here she comes down low for the lead for herself. This is another lead change that's happening right now, and Renzi will clear the 10 car. Teammates battling for the lead, but Renzi's going to get that spot. As we take a look at them once they cross the start-finish line, we're going to see how the scoring is as we are halfway through here in Atlanta. Right now, the top 10 as it's scored, it is Cassandra Renzi the leader, second Alex Pedro, third Biggie Spencer, fourth Trent Dunham, fifth Michael Walton, sixth Jecko Knight, seventh Nick Pericles, eighth Chase Oliver, ninth Gabe Williams, 10th Rue McIntyre. 11th is David Rivera, 12th is PJ Williams, 13th Larry Hagan, 14th Jessica Sheldon, 15th Anthony McCurry, 16th Al Austin Weiner, as right now battle for the lead, and Alex Pedro goes back up to the front. 15th is Anthony McCurry, 16th Cody Lamas, 17th is Ken Thoreau, 18th Austin Weiner, 19th Dylan Thoreau, 20th is Seth Cole. 21st is Ian Dutta, 22nd Charles Jackson, 23rd Jordan Culp, 24th is Charles Jackson, 25th is Eric Burton, 26th Matt McIntyre, 27th Justin Talampas, 28th Brandon Nichols, who's starting to try to make some strides to get up to the front or get up higher up into the positions. Michael Norman 29th, Sonny Hammond 30th, the rest of the top 40 is Cody Hagan 31st, 32nd Ryan Anderson Jr., 33rd is Jesse King, 34th Zachary Fitzwater, 35th Kendall Maynor, 36th Dylan Young, 37th Kendall Maynor, Eric and Rage 36th, 38th Henrietta Fitzwater, 39th Charles Sanford, 40th is Jesse Setti, 41st is Alex Hawkins, and dead last and 42nd is Chris Washer. So at the moment, Washer may potentially be out of the top 10, though it depends on how drivers are running at the moment. But right now, Alex Pedro is up at the front. Cassandra Renzi has fallen to 6th. But Biggie Spencer here, he's coming to make a comeback. And wait a minute, are pit stops taking place? Yes, they are. Green flag pit stops are happening. And Jesse Setti, Justin Talampas are already in. And Jessie Setti, she's just now coming into her stall. As I'm trying to find who is the leader now. And I believe that leader right now is Rue McIntyre. But now they're getting ready to slow down to come into pit road. And Cassandra Renzi's coming in along with Pericles, Rivera, PJ Williams, and among others. So everybody, it looks like, is now in the pit road now. And everybody has made their stops. And there is Talampas and Setti. Depending on when they pitted and how fast their stops are, could those two be up in the front? Though I highly doubt it. Because there is Alex Pedro, who came in as the leader in that second group of cars. And I think it will be Pedro as the leader. And Talampas, he's actually going by some cars. So too is Setti. So Setti, she could potentially be making a stride in order to get into the top 10 in the points potentially right now. But it all depends on how these pit stops cycle around as far as who's going to be in what spot. And I think at the moment, wait a minute, is the caution out? Yes, it is. The caution is out, so this changes everything. Caution is out, so who is the leader? I'm thinking it is Alex Pedro. Let's see. And indeed he is. Whoa, and he and Trent Dunham about crashed. But they somehow kept it together, and it looks like the crash happened in turns 1 and 2. And Henrietta Fitzwater has damage. So too does Cody Hagan. Zachary Fitzwater might have gotten involved. So could have Ryan Anderson Jr. Oh, Michael Walton and Michael Norman have crashed. Man, there's a lot of cars in there. Alex Hawkins, Anthony McCreary, Jesse King, Ian Dutta. Oh, man, that is a tough break for Ian Dutta. He was hoping to get something going to get in the top 10, and it's not going to happen. Chris Washer has crashed, and so too has Charles Jackson. Eric Burden might have gotten involved because here he is, although I don't see any damage. I think he's coming in for a pit stop. This looked like a big crash took place. As right now it is Alex Pedro up at the front after the cycling of green flag pit stops. And we get our first caution of the day. Let's take a look at a replay to see what brought the caution out for the first time tonight here at Atlanta. Alright, well, here's a look at what happened. This was coming out of pit road, and Charles Jackson comes up in front of Zachary Fitzwater. And look at Cody Hagan came up and dive bombed. And look at Charles Jackson going for a wild ride. So too did Michael Walden. And oh, Alex Hawkins took a hard lick in that. And Hawkins actually goes barrel rolling. We're going to have a lot of looks on this one. Wow, look at Hawkins. The air that car got, and we'll have to go to the regular thing here. So yeah, this was just after completing pit stops. There you see Jackson and Hagan. They come up in front of Fitzwater and Walton, and just look at them cars go. And wow, that was a lick from Jesse King. And then right there in the driver's door was the hit that sent Hawkins flipping down the banking of the racetrack. Just look at the air it got for a second. And let's take a look at Michael Walton's perspective. As there you see Jackson and Hagan come up in front of Hawkins and Fitzwater. And wait a minute. How does the 99 go flipping like that? It looked like he got airborne, and then because of contact it caused him to get upside down. He goes over once. And then right there a hit from Jackson sent him barrel rolling twice. And then Hawkins up ahead. And there you see where Hawkins was at the time when Hagan was coming out of the pit road, and he comes up in front of Hawkins. Caused the second incident that collected McCreary and Michael Walden. And there you see Dutta. Sonny Hammond actually got a piece of it. And Dutta actually went up in the air for a second. And then right there's the hit in the driver's door that sends Hawkins flipping over once, twice, 3 times, 4 times he goes barrel rolling. But Charles Jackson, I think, took the wildest ride of them all. Let's watch his perspective one more time as he comes up in front of Fitzwater, and he's gonna, wow, that was a hard hit. He goes over once, twice, 3, 4 times he went flipping. So he definitely took, as far as the craziness of the wreck, he took the wildest ride. And let's watch it one last time as he hits the outside wall, and Walden came in flying rear end first into the side of Jackson. That's what got Jackson's car upside down and going. And there you see where Washer gets his damage. Let's actually go to Ian Dutta because I saw him go upside down, or actually on his side, up in the air. Let's take a look at his perspective. Yeah, he gets sideswiped into Hawkins, and he's up in the air, then hits the outside wall, courtesy of Sonny Hammond. And there you see the carnage taking place. Well, that is a look at all the perspectives of everything that took place. Let's take you back to the restart here at Atlanta. Well, after that caution, we have numerous cars out of the race, and they are Sonny Hammond, here comes lap down cars. Sonny Hammond, Eric Burden, Henrietta Fitzwater, and Cody Hagan. Everybody else is out of the race. Michael Walden, Jesse King, Ian Dutta, Chris Washer, Charles Jackson, Alex Hawkins, Michael Norman, and Anthony McCreary. So the field, how they will line up, it is Alex Pedro, the leader. Second, Trent Dunham. Third, Biggie Spencer. Fourth, Chase Oliver. Fifth is Gabe Williams. Sixth is Ryan Anderson Jr. Seventh is Nick Pericles. Eighth is Rue McIntyre. Ninth, Cassandra Renzi. 10th is David Rivera. 11th is PJ Williams. 12th is Kyle Matthews. 13th, Jekko Knight. 14th, Justin Talampas. 15th, Jessica Sheldon. 16th is Dylan Thoreau. 17th is Ken Thoreau. 18th, Larry Hagan. 19th, Brandon Nichols. 20th, Cody Lamas. Then it's Jordan Kolb, Jesse Setti, Seth Cole, Austin Weiner, Kendall Maynard, Charles Sanford, Matt McIntyre, Dylan Young, Eric Enrage, and Zachary Fitzwater. Those are the cars that are left on the lead lap. But here we go. Green flag is back out with 14 laps to go here at Atlanta. And right now, Trent Dunham is hooked to the back bumper of the 10 car, and here he comes down low, and I saw Talampas. I thought I saw Talampas get turned, but he somehow saved it, and now Trent Dunham goes to the lead. And Trent Dunham comes into this race 18th in points, so unfortunately, even if he wins this race, it won't be enough to put him in the chase, at least for the time being, depending on what happens in the LCQ race coming up at Talladega. And now here comes the guy who led a lot early on, Biggie Spencer. He's coming underneath. And also here comes Ryan Anderson Jr., Chase Oliver into the fray. And if Chase Oliver can somehow win this race, he could get a potential wild card spot for the chase. Because Chase Oliver comes into this race 19th in points, but he has a win. And there he is. He's in second, but right now it is Ryan Anderson Jr. as the leader. Chase Oliver running in second with Pericles, Spencer, and Rue McIntyre up there. And Rue McIntyre is even potentially trying to get a win, so that way he can maybe get a wild card spot depending on what's going to happen. And the field has just gotten separated. It must have been from getting held up by the lap down machines, because Austin Weiner's in the back, which is not that good for him. But I think he'll still be in the chase no matter what, and I think he might stay in the top 10, depending. But right now, Chase Oliver is trying to run down the 51 of Ryan Anderson Jr. to get to the lead and potentially get his second win of the season and the 5th of his career. And if Chase can win this race, he could get a potential wild card spot. I think he could if he does win. I think he will get a wild card spot if he wins this race, which will keep his streak of making every chase for the championship in every season alive. Jessica Sheldon is definitely going to be in the chase, so her streak will continue. Chris Washer, depending on how the points are going to look at the end of this video, he could still possibly be in and keep his streak going. And if Chase can win, he'll get a wild card spot potentially, and he'll be in the chase as well. It depends on how this race is going to play out, but it is 8 to go here at Atlanta, so still anything can happen. Chase is still running right behind the 51, not able to make a move just yet. Meanwhile, back here, a battle for third is going on between PJ Williams, Nick Pericles, and Gabe Williams lurking in the picture as well. And here comes Cassandra Renzi into the picture as well for that 4th spot. Or actually 5th spot, I should say. Meanwhile, here comes Chase Oliver. He's coming down low. He's going to go underneath of Ryan Anderson Jr. to get the lead. And it looks like he is going to get the spot, and that opens up room for PJ Williams to make a move into the picture. And PJ Williams, this is vital for him. He comes into the race 8th in points, only 4 points ahead of 10th, so if he can finish up here in the top 10, he could still be in the chase. But now they're getting ready to catch the slow machine of Cody Hagan. This can cause problems for these leaders, and they're going to go around up high, but now the driver's low. They're going to get held up, and Ryan Anderson Jr. got held up a little bit. Now Renzi and Gabe are getting held up. That high line is now going to get held up now. That's not good, because now it is less than 5 to go here in Atlanta, and now some drivers might have gotten screwed over of a win, including Cassandra Renzi. And Renzi's still stuck, and now here she comes underneath. So too is Kyle Matthews. But wait a minute, are they going to catch another one, it looks like? Now the closest one next would be Henrietta Fitzwater, but she is coming off of turn 4 now. And wait a minute, is the caution out again? No, I thought I saw the flag come out. But it is still Chase Oliver at the front, and it's now going to be 3 to go here at Atlanta for the 21 of Chase Oliver. He needs to stay up at the front and win and hope to still get in as a wild card driver. But right now, P.J. Williams, he's starting to catch him, and he's right there behind the 21. The 21 is going to have to try to block every lane possible to keep Williams behind him. 2 to go here at Atlanta. And back here, a battle for 4th between David Rivera and Ryan Anderson Jr., and Rivera is going to get that spot. And now here comes P.J. Williams down low underneath of Chase. P.J. Williams trying to go for his first non-restrictor plate win of his career. But Chase Oliver's hanging in on high. White flag is out for P.J. Williams. Chase Oliver, he's going to have to go for a crossover move here in the next couple corners in order to get back around, and he's catching the 27 again. He's going to have to go diving in low here in just a second in order to get around the 27. Is he going to be able to go low enough? No, he can't that time. And it doesn't look like he's going to be able to make the move. Coming to the checkered flag, P.J. Williams gets his first non-play win of his career and the 3rd win of his career, and he's going to get it at Atlanta. And unfortunately, Chase Oliver could not make the move, and so therefore he's going to miss out on the chase unless he can win the Chase LCQ race at Talladega. But man, what a dramatic turn of events on the last lap, as there you see Fitzwater and Burton finally crossing the finish line. But P.J. Williams, he's going to come away with the victory. Great run for him. He's going to be in the chase for sure. Chase Oliver tried at the end, but he couldn't hold off P.J. Williams or couldn't get back around him. But he's going to come away with a solid 2nd place finish. Nick Pericles, solid 3rd. David Rivera is going to be another driver in the chase. So he's going to finish in 4th. And Ryan Anderson Jr. is going to come away with a 5th place finish, and he will also be in the chase. Trent Dunham comes away with a solid 6th place finish. Gabe Williams 7th, solid. Biggie Spencer with a solid 8th. Great run of 9th for Jecko Knight, and 10th, solid run for Rue McIntyre. And the rest of the top 20 was Cody Lamas, Ken Thoreau, Larry Hagan, Dylan Young, Cassandra Renzi, Kendall Maynard, Charles Sanford, Alex Pedro, Jessica Sheldon, and Seth Cole. The rest of the top 30 in the lead lap cars were Jordan Culp, Kyle Matthews, Matt McIntyre, Eric Enrage, Justin Talampas, Austin Weiner, Brandon Nichols, who I believe is going to be in the chase with a wild card spot. So it depends on how the points are going to look when you see them at the end of the video. Dylan Thoreau, Jesse Setti, and Zachary Fitzwater, and the rest of the next 4 finished the race a lap or 2 down. Sonny Hammond, Eric Burton, Henrietta Fitzwater, and Cody Hagan. Everybody else was out of the race after the only caution that came out, and they were Michael Walton, Jesse King, Ian Dutta, Chris Washer, Charles Jackson, Alex Hawkins, Michael Norman, and Anthony McCurry. That does it for our coverage tonight here at Atlanta. Next up, we got the Chase LCQ at Talladega, so we'll be back for that. But here's a look at your results, rookie points, and regular points.
Matter the age, it don't matter the color, it don't matter the gender or who you love. If you got it in your heart, then go ahead and do it. If you have a gift, then please go ahead and use it. Cause I was feeling stupid while trying to do music, thinking that they had no voice and that I was useless. But as I write this down, I can see what I mean. Nobody ever will stop me from achieving my dreams.